So guys, today we will talk about diabetes mellitus type 2. When you get first blood report and when you see that your sugar is 180, 200, 400, 500, you are shocked. You feel depressed because you feel that, my God, now lifelong medications and dreaded complications of diabetes. But there is a way out. First, we must understand, why do you get diabetes? Why anybody gets diabetes? Diabetes happens because of two things. Number one, either we eat wrongly or we eat too much or we don't exercise properly. And third, of course, is stress. So, diet, exercise and mental peace or meditation is the right answer to cure or to control or to win over the diabetes. I'm talking about adult onset, after 25, 30. पहिली ते after 50 असताले. Now you get it after 25, 30 only. So why this happens? First, you must understand why the sugar goes up in the blood. When the sugar is high for a long time, we call it as diabetes, no? Why the sugar goes up? See, now when we eat something, the sugar is produced. You eat chapati, you eat rice, you eat fruits, you drink fruit juice, there is a sugar. The sugar is needed. Our muscles need sugar, our brain needs sugar, heart, everybody, every cell in the body would need sugar for its working. It's an energy. So as you eat something, sugar is made, it goes to the blood, then it goes to the cell. Say for example, it will go to the muscle. Then insulin, it's something, an enzyme, a chemical in the body, which is a key. So it goes to the muscle, the door opens and the sugar enters. So for sugar entry, you need a good amount of insulin, and also the cell, the muscle should understand and this is insulin and I must open the door. So when this thing does not happen, then the insulin does not come in contact with the cell, or even if it comes in contact, the cell does not understand it. And the sugar does not go into the cell, it remains in the system, in the blood circulation. That's we call you are getting a diabetes mellitus type 2. So then what is the solution? Solution is to reduce this insulin resistance, to reduce this fighting between or non-recognition of insulin by the cell. And that can be done by reducing sugar in our diet. What are sugars? Obviously, all the sweet items are sugars, naturally, right? You have sugar, you have jaggery, you have syrups, all are sugars. Soft drinks are sugars. Sauce, ketchup are sugars. Then your bread, your chapati, your rice, and the items made up of rice grains. For example, idli, dosa, poha, all are sugars. So we must cut them down. Now sauce, ketchup can be totally avoided. Soft drinks are not needed. They are just toilet cleaners. We can clean it off from our body. Remove them from our diet. But rice, chapati, these are necessary items, right? How we can avoid them? You should cut them down. So for example, if you are having 4 chapatis for your breakfast, have them 2. If you are having 2, make them 1. Cut them to half, at least to half. And instead increase the amount of salad. So raw vegetables like cucumber, tomato, not beetroot. Beetroot has sugar. Potatoes has sugar. So bananas have sugar. So potatoes, bananas, beetroots, no. But other vegetables like beans maybe or cabbage, these you can include, either raw or boiled, steamed, fine. Important are pulses, moong, green beans, masoor or alsande, kidney beans, peas, chole. So all these kind of pulses and dals are very, very important because they would give you protein first of all, and they would reduce the amount of influx of sugar into the blood. So suppose you eat chapati, there is a sugar goes high into the blood. But when you eat chapati with some pulse, the sugar goes slowly into the blood. And body can manage. Body can manage that sugar. Understood? So sugar entry is important. Also, what is the speed of the entry? That is also important. So pulses, dals help to reduce the influx, a speedy influx of the sugar into the blood. So that you must understand. Then cut down the non-veg items. Chicken, beef, pork definitely, but even fish and eggs, you must cut them down. At the most you can have fish curry. No fried, nothing fried. Even fried mirchi, chilies. Chilies are spicy, like too pungent. They wouldn't have sugar. Exactly opposite of sugar, right? But when you fry them, they increase sugar. So your fried cutlet is a sugar. Understood? So try to avoid that. Anything that is fried should be avoided. Also, dinner, whatever you eat after sunset is very important. We don't need that much energy, those much calories after sunset. Our diet should be as light as possible. If you can cut down all the carbohydrates, that is carbs, that is chapati, rice, breads, nachni, ragi, millets, all together from your food after sunset. Have just salads or fruits also fine. If you don't get cold, fruits are okay. Or best are pulses, soaked pulses, sprouted pulses, best sprouted beans, very good. That should be your dinner. So you give some time for your body to digest that sugar. So nothing fried. Make your carbohydrates to half. Increase the amount of pulse and dals. Reduce the amount of non-veg. If you can avoid non-veg, wonderful. What about milk and dairy products? Cut them down. Buttermilk is fine. Buttermilk is okay. Curds with water is fine. But better to avoid milk and all. If you get A2 milk, it's fine. If you are really want to have some milk, a glass of A2 milk, 300 ml, that is your meal. That is your lunch or dinner, whatever it is. So from the fruits, cut down bananas, chikus. What about mangoes? Now see, mangoes themselves do not cause sugar rise. We eat mangoes after food, after lunch. That's the issue. So if you want to eat mango, say one Alfonso or maybe one Mankurad, that's your lunch. That's your meal. So manage that. Then you can have mangoes also. So diet is important. Second is exercise. Now walking is not an exercise. Unfortunately, it's an activity. Somebody who is sitting all the way or somebody who has not done any exercise lifelong, walking could be an initial step, first step, opening the door of exercise. That cannot be exercise. And if you want to walk really, you can't do anything else, you just walk, then 1 hour, 6 kilometers. In 1 hour, you must cover 6 kilometers. That could be an optimum way of walking. But otherwise, yoga, gym, aerobics, Zumba, regularly, every day. You eat every day, you must exercise every day. Third is mental peace. Quiet sleep, sound sleep is very important. So do some meditation. Try to be a little bit more mindful. Try to understand the reality of this world, which is totally fake. So try to be more philosophical. So what will happen? Your indulgence will be reduced. You will eat for your tummy and not for your tongue. So stress levels are very important. To manage them are very important. and fourth is medicine. So 25% is medicine only. 75% is in your hands. So once you get diabetes, you don't have to panic. You must understand that, okay, now I got diabetes because I have made some mistakes. I have eaten the wrong things. I have eaten at wrong times. I have overeaten. I have been lazy. My family is suffering from diabetes. So all these reasons, maybe accept them. Once you accept them, that yes, I was lazy and that's why I got diabetes, you will start exercising. Once you understand, yes, I was overeating, that's why I got this particular disease. So accepting is very important. Now it's like when you're walking, suppose you are, say, driving somewhere, and in between you get a river. What you do? Do you put your car into the water, or you will take Ro-Ro service? Obviously, you change your way. Yeah, you take Ro-Ro, you take help of the boats, ships, or you go on the bridge, whatever. But you change your lifestyle at that moment. Same thing is happening. Understand your life right now when you get a diabetes, that you are walking on the road and suddenly there is an obstruction. You must do something to overcome that obstruction, and that's why these changes are necessary. All the best.